A man says he was bitten on the chest after he asked a man to put on his face mask correctly. He is now outraged by the horrific wounds he's been left with on his chest. Really? People just straight up biting people now? This dude don't need a mask, he needs a frickin' muzzle. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/iamatotalpieceofsh because constantly I'm not ever gonna stop rooting for that meteor, seriously now. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and to see more content like this in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start them wholesome internet discussions, we gonna need them, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Okie dokie, let's go.
Jacksepticeye's dad got Epstein for touching kitties and is now burning in heck.
You know, in the fashion of Moist Critical himself, I figured, and if this doesn't get covered, I might as well take my crack at it in his fashion. You would honestly think that by now condom commercials, instead of featuring little kids crying and just throwing tantrums in stores, they should just feature this person's face all over every single time. Not only that, you can honestly think and be sad for the fact that this was the sperm cell that got through.
Maybe people need to stop living in fear. It's not normal to have a pew while you're out and about. Also, probably stop selling pews to the biggest terror threats in this country, white men.
This just makes me sad. The fact that this is upvoted for what is essentially racism, keeping the institution alive. Huh?
You can't be racist towards white people because racism is an institution created by white people to maintain white superiority. You can't hate what I said, but ultimately it isn't white people being offed for who they... I can't read the rest, but I don't care to look it up. Okay, two things. One, I'm kind of wondering why in the world this is an r/movies. And secondly, imagine seeing a dictionary definition of a word and then not liking that definition because it applies to you. It honestly just sounds stupid at that point. Is borderline personality disorder real or just an excuse? The good old classic of, it's not tangible, so let's question its existence. I don't even need to say anything. The answer to this just explains how stupid this person sounds. Oh, Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Please do not say this is a serious question. It is. Well, shit. Let me get to the top of the Empire State Building so maybe you can hear this. Borderline personality disorder is real. It is as real disorders get. It is intensive. It is draining. It is not something we ask to have, and it is not an excuse. A person may use it as an excuse, but as a whole, it is not an excuse. That would be like asking someone who is blind if it's just an excuse. Of course it's not. Woman jailed for stabbing man so hard between the eyes that the knife penetrated his brain. Blank stabbed a man so hard between his eyes with a kitchen knife that it penetrated his brain. Anybody want to know how long she got in prison? 3 years. The dude had to have his eye removed. Watch a hero Yorkie fend off aggressive coyote to save her human. Look, I don't care if the Yorkie has been neutered, spayed, whatever. The dude's got some balls, I will tell you that. Anybody that don't know what Yorkies are for some weird reason, this is what they are. They're a purse pooch. Like, they are little tiny guys. Or in reality, a 10-year-old is such a coward, they left a 6 to 8-pound dog to fight off a 30-pound coyote on its own, despite the fact that the girl is large enough to physically destroy said coyote, but too useless to do so. Yeah, and people also fend off bears just by acting big and everything, so basically the dog did the same thing. Just because you're not intimidated by the little fluffy walking Snicker bar doesn't mean the coyote isn't. Middle school parent PSA from a middle school teacher.
So we know it's gonna be stupid right off the bat.
1. Say no to Snapchat. They will send or receive a nude pictures eventually. They probably already have. They will also lie about this when you ask them. Many middle school kids do not have Snapchat. Just in case then, try to argue with your rule. You'll notice that the rest of these aren't numbered, right?
I mean, like, anybody expected you to count higher than 1 in the first place if you're making this? At least you know, at least you're not a math teacher. Or in the event you are, the boy.
TikTok is full of nasty stuff, and the F word, oh god, no. Parenting preteens/teens is not for the lazy. You cannot leave them for hours behind closed doors with phones, TVs, computers, or friends.
What do you want them to do then? Be duct taped to the ceiling?
If you are not going through their text, please don't give them a phone. Screen time on their iPhone should be enabled with a passcode before you ever ever hand to them. It's so easy to use. You can turn the internet off, even on a smartphone. If you find inappropriate garbage, turn it off. They cannot handle it.
Okay, I'll tell you this right now, that kid has probably figured out that phone more than you.
Friends in their grade are having S. More than one friend. Talk to your kids.
I'm sorry, hold on, what level of grade school was this? Ah, middle and high school. Really, you're just gonna lump that into 6th grade, aren't you?
Stop bailing them out. Stop it. Let them fail. They will all mess up.
Yeah, way to go to be a great supportive teacher. I'm gonna bet that one of your favorite movies is one of those ones where the kid gets put into an institutionalized school with a teacher that has the ruler, and don't you?
Don't freak out when they do, especially if they tried.
Okay, then what's your excuse? Because you seem to be freaking out and they ain't even your kids.
Many middle schoolers are addicted to off-brand. Loads of them check their phones. They are so desensitized. Maybe there are people out there who don't believe in COVID because they are awake enough to realize it is nothing more than a global political scam to get the world vaccinated. Dig deep and think deeper. Follow the money. I think we should all move on from this COVID and stop feeding ourselves some fear that affects the immune system.
Just accept the people are selfish. You can't control others, but you can control your reaction around you. That's the only thing you have full control over. Your reaction. Yes, there are still people wearing a mask. That is a personal choice out of fear. If they are truly about health, they should also care about the content they put in their body. 95% of the stuff are junk foods, easy meals that contain preservatives for longer shelf life. The produce we eat still contains pesticides and herbicides. The cleaning products we have can also destroy the immune system, etc., and many more. I see those licking of notes with old people. Yeah, I never really understand the whole thing of people licking their finger before turning a page. You just use your thumb. You know, the real POS is literally a POS. It's dog doo-doo right off the screen, and if you were to follow the exact trail line, it's like directly in the footpath. Completely just, the person thought, okay, well, you know what, it's gonna deteriorate over the period of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, so maybe it's perfectly fine to let my dog do their business right in the middle of the walking path. I hate you. Like, seriously, bottom line, if it's not in your yard, then pick up after your animal. I cannot stress this enough, and I've had to deal with this countless times at work. I can't even remember the number, but it's large. Because for some reason, some people think that once you own an animal, the concept of picking up after it does not come into play whatsoever. I was recently contacted and told about my inclusion in a technicals video about a year ago. I had publicly told others that Zero had DM'd me off-brand without confirming my age. While that is true, I did not include that I was an adult at the time and that I had asked him to send me and practically begged him. This comes off also deceptive, and while I was not intending it to be that way, there was no excuse for what I did. It was a misinterpretation on me and Zero's relationship. I DM'd Zero to clear things up with him. So wait, hold up, you waited a full year and then you just want to say, oops, my bad, and think that'll be alright? Is anybody able to fill me in on what the whole Zero thing was in the first place? Because I tried doing some research on it. He was a big, really professional Smash player, and his career got ruined because of this, and he actually tried to off himself in a couple of instances, and the only reason that this whole post was posted was because the person had gotten called out and exposed, which I gotta say is really, really messed up, and I honestly doubt that that DM is gonna try clearing these up anytime soon. Woman shot dead in Georgia supermarket for telling a man to wear a face mask. Yeah, even though the mask restrictions are getting lifted in a whole lot of places, the private businesses and places that aren't mass corporation businesses still can enforce their own policies. Like, for example, there's a bundt cake store like right down the road that I absolutely love because they do a fantastic little marble cake, and they have little tiny things called buntlets, but I keep on calling them bunt nuggets. They still have a policy there, and if you want a bundt cake, then you forgets to wear the mask. Authorities say a South Jersey woman admitted to drinking mixed alcoholic beverages and driving around before a crash that killed a firefighter and injured several other first responders early Saturday morning, according to an arrest obtained by Action News. Blank 63 of Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey is facing vehicular homicide charges in connection with a crash that killed firefighter redacted Interstate 76 in this location, Township, Pennsylvania. Police say a Pennsylvania State Police trooper and fire crews from Belmont Hills Fire Company and Gladwine Fire Company responded to a DUI crash around 3:15 a.m. in the westbound lanes of the Schuylkill Expressway near Waverly Road. This is something I will absolutely never understand. What honestly makes anybody think that they can drink a copious amounts of liquor and then think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get behind a multi-ton machine that can ram stuff? Like, honestly, what makes somebody think that this is perfectly fine to do? Like, I've been absolutely plastered before, and not once did I honestly think, alright, I'm gonna go driving on the road. Like, seriously, this is one of the most stupidest decisions people can make, is to drink and drive. But with that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the most internet discussions, make some new friends, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.